I seek your permission tonight to be frank. Our Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Ad-deen nasiha." Religion is sincerity. We owe it to each other. When we speak to one another, to be honest and sincere. Honest and sincere to Allah and His book and to His messenger and to our leaders and to the generality of us. And therefore, before I speak tonight, I seek your permission to be honest and forthright and frank. You're supposed to say yes. Sometimes in speaking honestly, we say painful truths. But I think it's better to tell the truth. Do you? You have heard it said, I have good news and bad news. First, the good news. You've heard that before, right? Tonight, I have good news and some bad news. First, the good. Did not Allah say in Quran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَكَ إِلَّا مُبَشِّرًا وَنَذِيرًا? I have not sent you, O Muhammad, except as a giver of good news. Huh? Good news and as a warner. And the reason that we fail at da'wah is because sometimes we like to give good news, but we don't want to give the warning. And sometimes we give warning, but we don't want to give the good news. And if you're going to do it right, you have to give the good news on the one hand, but on the other hand, you have to also give the warning. Is that true? And so tonight, I want to give the good news and also give the warning. IQA is good news. Work that they're doing is fantastic. And the question tonight is not whether we should support them, not whether we should give them money, but the question is, how much money should we give them? How much money of what Allah has blessed us with, how much of our money we should give? And I'm saying tonight, when I'm finished tonight and speaking in a few moments, I heard someone say that there's some blood drives and Muslims are donating their blood. I love it, going to the hospital and donating our blood. I love that. But I want to remind you that there are people in this country, both black and white, who gave their blood, in order that people may be free. And so people can give their blood, and they can give their lives, they can die for the freedom of this nation. And we tonight should be willing to give everything that we have for this institution, if you understood it. First, the good news. I need your help. I'm going to name a city, and it's the capital of a nation. And every time I name the city, I want you to tell me what nation it's the capital of. Like, for instance, London, England. London is the capital of England. True? It is a fact that the #1 most populated name in London is Muhammad. Copenhagen, Denmark. It is a fact that the most populated name in Denmark is Muhammad. Amsterdam, Netherlands. It is a fact that Muhammad is the most popular them to masjids all over. In Buffalo, New York, an Islamic system, a big school where they teach people to become Hafiz al-Quran. It used to be a Catholic school. All over America, Muslims buying up parochial schools, buying up Catholic schools, buying up yeshivas, and turning them to schools for Muslims. It's true, last year, a report said that in the last generation, the number of Muslims in America has doubled. It's true. Islam is growing. That's wonderful. This is good news. It's good news to see a Hafiz al-Quran, men and women. It's good to see scholars of Islam among the men and the women. All of that is good news. But we must tamper the good news with some news that's not so good. First, let me give you a little bit of background about myself. I was 7 years old one Sunday morning getting ready to go to church. 7 years old, getting ready to go to church. And as I was getting ready to go to church, my mother overheard me say, "How come we have to go to church?" A young Christian boy, 7 years old, and I want to know, how come we have to go to church? So my mother took out a belt, and she whacked me a couple of times. And then she said, "Do you now understand why you have to go to church?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." But I didn't understand. And because she couldn't explain it to me, 12 years later, I left the church and joined the Muslims and became a Muslim. But that's not my point. That's my point is not Allahu Akbar. I got another point that I want to make. I became an imam, I think at the age of 25 years old, 26 years old. And I don't consider myself a scholar by any stretch of imagination. If you want to say something that Muawiyah said. He said, "La hakima ila mutajiba." There's no real wisdom without experience. If you want to say Brother Siraj has some experience, because it's almost impossible to be on this earth half of a century. I've been here half a century, just about.